This is Keith Neal for Keith Neal Creativity. And today I'm going to be doing some sketching. I already started a little bit of sketching here. Just want to show you what I did so far. And just join in. Just sketch with me. Grab, a figure that you might have. Something like I have one of these figures. I'm not going to sketch this one today, but just an example of what you can use. And let's just get to the drawing pad and see what we come up with today. All right. I'm going to flip the screen here. All right, here we are on the notepad, the sketch pad. And I've just already started doing a little bit of sketching here. I was working on just perfecting my goblin making skills, not because we're getting closer to Halloween, but I'm working on a comic book that I've been wanting to do for a while. And a character that I have in the Dungeons and Dragons game, I created a character, and I really like it. I really like the character. He's kind of having some hard times right now, but in the comic book, I'm kind of bringing him back to his origins, and so what he, where he kind of started. I'm going to start actually with a storyline of where I kind of came into knowing who Chucky is. And then I can go back a little bit further going forward. But just was kind of sketching. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. If we go any further down, you're not going to see what I'm doing. But it's just fun to kind of, get an idea what something looks like, perfect it. If you can find a figure that looks pretty close to what you want to be sketching, utilize it. I mean, let's say you need like a female figure, just grab a female action figure. Maybe you need something that's a little more super looking. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you're sketching Superman. Grab a figure like that and then just play around. A lot of times I just would really love to just kind of get the face perfected. Because what happens is when you're doing a face sketch, you want to kind of make that character look the same throughout all your sketching. So if you're doing some kind of character, you want to make sure you have that same nose, that same crease, of whatever you're doing there to define that character. Otherwise, sometimes people have a take on what a character looks like. For the most part, you can recognize who it's going to be. Like if you're talking about Spider-Man, you can usually recognize that Peter Parker looks a certain way. I know a lot of times movies and TV shows will dictate what the artists do. They might start kind of following after that fashion. So you might get a familiar character in the comic books that looks too much like an actor, which I don't necessarily recommend. But just kind of have fun sketching around. And just, again, just try and get that same kind of look. I was just watching a animated show, and it just was really neat to see how they really able to kind of stick with, just the face, the look of each character, so that you can just identify who they are. How I found out about this animated show was through getting a notice on Amazon on these action figures being available, and I go, what is this show? I found out it was part of that what's called the Critical Role show, and that show is a bunch of actors. They're voice actors, but a bunch of actors that were playing these Dungeons and Dragons characters. And when you do that, it's great that you have voice actors that then you can turn into an animated feature. And they did a whole series on it on Amazon. So I thought that was kind of cool. And just kind of working on the side profile here. If I do that character that I just drew over here, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take a look at this here. I've got something in the way. If I move this out of the way so I can move over a little bit better. And we're getting into the time of the day where it starts to get darker. And let's see here. Let's see how we're going to establish. So I'm kind of doing this character here, but I'm just putting a front profile on here. And oh, I really made his ears big. Holy cow. I might skinny up that ear just a little bit up on the side profile. It's got a hairstyle like this. And get a thick neck there. Kind of threw in an Adam's apple. And we have that unique eyebrow. And one thing too, if you're drawing characters and let's say you're doing a comic book or something, be okay with the idea that you could draw a guy that looks like he could be really a bad person, but, you know, turn him into a hero. And then, you know, someone who's like a bad guy or looks like a good guy could do the opposite, make him a bad guy instead. So there's always something you can just kind of play around with and see how that, you know, if you want to kind of trick your readers, you know, that are following that, just kind of have fun with that. All right. Okay. All right. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep sketching here. But feel free to just keep going on it and just keep sketching away. And if you're interested in putting in the comments what you're sketching on, I would love to see it. I'd love to see what kind of stuff you're doing. So feel free to share with me. And then I'll do the same. I'll show you what I'm doing here. You know, as I continue along, I may be working on another comic book sketch comic here soon. And I know I got one of the works I need to finish up. So I'm going to be working on that here soon. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.